Top class performance from the Super Eagles, and they are off to the quarterfinals of the African Nations Cup taking place in Cote d'Ivoire, AFCON 2024. The Super Eagles on Saturday night sent the indomitable Lions of Cameroon to the cleaners with a 2-0 win, courtesy of a double from Ademola Lookman, who one of the wingers of the Super Eagles. A very great disciplined performance from Nigeria. Victor Osimhen leading the line exceptionally. He was the one who set up Lookman for the first goal, robbing deterring a passive Cameroonian defender off the ball in the late minutes of the first half, and he passed it on to Ademola Lookman, who finished quite well, although the goalkeeper was almost saving, but it was not to be for the Cameroonian goalkeeper and the despairing outstretched legs of the Cameroonian defender who tried to keep Lookman's ball out. And in the 90th minute of the second half, the disciplined Super Eagles launched again another attack, and a sweet cutback from Calvin Bassey. The very hard-working Calvin Bassey was met beautifully again by Ademola Lookman for Nigeria's winner, resulting in a very loud and big celebration that reverberated around Nigeria, as it did at the Houphouët-Boigny Stadium in Cameroon. So how did Nigeria achieve victory against Cameroon? What tactical style did the coach, Jose Peseiro, employ? Peseiro had come under a lot of criticism, by the way, before the Nations Cup. He was ridiculed, he was called names, he was called a fake Jose Mourinho and all that, because the Super Eagles, in truth, were not playing well. They were not doing so well, and people struggled to understand the tactical style that Peseiro was bringing into the Super Eagles. But as it is now, it is becoming quite clear what Peseiro is doing tactically from yesterday's match, as well as the previous last two games of the Nations Cup. It's become clear that Peseiro is employing a very solid defensive approach that also seeks to make use of the pacey wingers that abound in the Super Eagles, and of course to make use of the devastating power, aggression of Victor Osimhen, the best player in Africa at the moment. And yes, it was very much a tactical masterclass from the Super Eagles on Saturday night against the indomitable Lions. Off the ball, the Super Eagles were solid in defense, employing off the ball a 5-4-1 formation. 3 center backs and then 2 wing backs who tucked in to make a back 5 when the Super Eagles don't have the ball, and then the middle bank of 4 of Moses Simon at the right flank, Ademola Lookman at the left flank, Onyenka and Iwobi occupying the central areas, while Osimhen was tasked with doing the job in center of attack, harassing and destabilizing the Cameroonian defense. And so that was very good. If you watched what the Super Eagles were doing, each player had a tactical zone to defend when the Eagles were without the ball. Each player had a zone in the pitch to defend. In the very wide areas close to the touchline, it was the wing backs in Zaidu Sanusi in the first half, before he was substituted and Calvin Bassey moved into a left wing back position. In the wide areas, it was the wing backs, Sanusi and Olaino, solid physically strong specimens who were doing the job, pressing the very wide areas. And just after the wide areas, it was the wide midfielder, talking about the wingers in Ademola Lookman and Moses Simon, who were doing the job of pressing those areas. And then the central areas, Onyenka presses his zone, and Iwobi drops back, or Iwobi presses when the ball leaves Onyenka's zone to the other central midfield zone, and then Onyenka drops back. It was very much a disciplined job. One player presses and presses his zone when the ball is when the ball was in his zone, and then those closest to him dropped back to provide cover. And then when the Super Eagles had the ball, it was very much a 3-2-5 formation, with Iwobi and Yenka remaining in the central areas to try to provide the passes. And then the wing backs, Olayino and Zaidu Sanusi, would launch into attacking moves at the edge or right inside the 18-yard box of the Cameroonians. And then the front three of Victor Osimhen, aided by the two tucked-in wingers, Moses Simon and Ademola Lookman, will seek to flood the box to make it about 5 players attacking the Cameroonian box. And the beauty of it is that the willingness of the Super Eagles players to put in the work, the willingness of the Super Eagles players to quickly shift into offense, and when they lose the ball, to quickly get back to shape and switch into a defensive, solid defensive mode. It sounds easy on paper, but it can be difficult when a couple of players are not willing to do the job or are not able to do the job. It has to do with communication, communication between the players, and also their physical fitness has to be top notch to be able to switch from attacking moves to defense, and from defense to attack while keeping a very disciplined shape. So the Super Eagles have beaten Cameroon by 2-0, and they are going to be meeting Angola, the Palancas Negras of Angola, on Friday evening in the quarterfinals at the Ufrebwanyi Stadium in Abidjan. Angola presents some threat of their own. Angola have what it takes to destabilize a 5-man defense. And what does it take to destabilize a 5-man defense? The ability to send crosses into the box, the ability to have big players who would be physically fit to match and to cause trouble for a 3-man defense. And I tell you, Angola has some very tall strikers who are strong. They against Namibia, Angola deployed a 4-3-3 formation, and what it means is that they have 3 players attacking. So most likely we're going to be seeing Angola attacking Nigeria's defense with 3 central strikers to try to pick the 3 center backs of Nigeria one-on-one, and that could pose some problems for Nigeria. So the Super Eagles, it will be interesting to see how they adjust. The Angolans can head. The Angolans have good aerial ability. We saw the second goal they scored against Namibia off a cross, and a very strong, fantastic header, to break a tight defensive block of Nigeria. Teams will look to be very quick, lightning quick in attack, and be quicker on the 50-50 balls. And so Angola will be looking to do that. But will the Super Eagles go to sleep? Well, judging by what we saw from what we have seen from the Eagles so far, they look like a determined, disciplined bunch. But against Angola, it's going to be another very difficult test. But we'll have to see how that one pans out on Friday. I am Nelson Dafe, once again saying congratulations to Nigeria. I'm Nelson Dafe of News Express, Nigeria Television Sports.